Omega level mutants are absolutely useless, generally just overhyped, and these days, the term Omega level has just been butchered and abused by Marvel every single opportunity they get. Yes, I said it, and I know you are thinking about it too, because it is true. And for those that disagree, before you get angry at me, just let me cook a bit. Because you see, I dug really deep into this and I read a lot of comics and articles on many mutants for hours. No, this literally took me months to find. But I'm going to butcher it for you in a couple of minutes. And I promise you, after this video, you will definitely see these guys in a much different light. Because there's a secret with Omega level mutants no one is talking about. Yet, at a subconscious level, we all know it's true. And don't get me wrong, I am not saying they are not strong. Oh, they are pretty powerful. But being powerful does not excuse uselessness or outright stupidity. But before we dive into that, who is a mutant? And what in heaven's name qualifies one to be a mutant? Initially, mutants were just those guys that got powers because of genetic mutation from birth. But later on, Marvel decided to fuck with our heads. And the next thing you know, we had magic users like Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and the Goblin Queen in the mix. Like, how the hell is a magic user a freaking mutant, man? Notwithstanding, Marvel has told us to go screw our common sense. And right now, mutants are just those dudes that were born with powers, including magic, non-humans, aliens, and of course, people that have special abilities as a result of radiation. You know, like these guys. But this also broadens the definition of who an Omega level mutant is. I mean, what are they? You see, mutants are actually classified. And in my own opinion, the person that did this grouping was on some high shit that day. Because this is the most messed up grading ever. Let's dive into them real quick and you see what I mean. Mutants in the Marvel Universe are graded based on the power and potential of their abilities. At least that's the way it is supposed to be. First, we have alpha level mutants. These are mutants with powerful abilities that are controllable and typically within a certain limit. They are generally not world-threatening and their powers are, although impressive, have defined boundaries. Examples would be Cyclops and Wolverine, you know, with his healing factor. In my own opinion, I am very sure this was the initial definition of mutants as a whole. But as Marvel got bigger, deeper, more ideas, they expanded it more. And so that brings us to the second level of mutants, which are the beta level mutants. Similar to alpha level, but with some kind of physical mutation or limitation. They have powerful abilities but may have a visible mutation in controlling their powers. Example would be Beast, you know, with his super strength and agility and his beast-like appearance. And then we have Rogue, able to absorb other people's powers with just a touch, but yet she cannot control it. So I understand when you say beta level mutants. However, in this classification, I believe the ones to really look out for are the gamma level mutants. You see, these are mutants with uncontrollable or unstable powers. These guys often struggle with their abilities, which causes them problems and are generally a danger to the society. An example would be Multiple Man. Yeah, that guy. He can create duplicates of himself, but yet he struggles with control over them. Which brings us to Delta level mutants. Now, these mutants have relatively minor powers that are not particularly combat effective. I mean, their abilities are often more mundane or have limited applications. An example would be Cypher, the one that has the ability to understand and translate languages. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, that's a much useful mutant ability than most of what these guys have. Now, I know this list is a bit very messed up and, in my own opinion, unnecessary, but stay with me. Trust me, you're going to get what I mean. We are finally down to Omega level mutants. Now, Omega level mutants are supposed to be the cream of the crop. You know, heaven's loved and nature's blessed. Mutants that have powers with no known upper limits. Like, they possess abilities that are literally world altering or potentially can change reality. Emphasis, change reality. These mutants are usually the influential and powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, like Jean Grey with her telepathy and telekinesis that can reshape reality and even bond with the Phoenix Force, or Magneto that can manipulate electromagnetic fields on a planetary scale. Storm can control the weather of the planet, Iceman, and of course, Franklin Richards. Oh my god, I love that guy. Yeah, but that's not the problem. Have you noticed how in almost every Marvel story, these so-called ever-powerful mutants are always the center of the storyline? And this of course brings me to my first point. Like, we actually don't get to see mutant movies with actual storylines unless it revolves around an Omega level mutant. And the worst part is that these guys can literally change reality on a freaking whim, but they always get defeated by these guys, which, if you have not figured out, are mostly filled with Delta and Beta level mutants. Like, please Marvel, make it make sense. How are these guys always beating these guys? Also, if I have the fucking ability to change reality as I wish regardless of where I am, I sure as hell won't be letting the X-Men know where I am or my fucking plans. Okay, let's take what happened in X-Men Apocalypse as an example. Like, this dude had the wisdom from thousands of years, all coupled together with the knowledge of the modern civilization, which he stole from television stage, meaning he had literally become the smartest guy on earth. To add to that, he still had immortality, super strength, speed, mind control abilities, and could even increase or nerf the abilities of other superheroes. And yet, he still lost to these guys. How? How? That's like bringing a nuclear bomb to a fight with table knives and still getting your ass kicked. Marvel is savage. Like, it was just too much. So much that even the writers had to water it down a little, and then they gave us Jean Grey. Which brings me to the next part. And I swear the issues with Jean Grey are just a long freaking list. Even the writers knew we were onto them and thought it fair for the good guys to have some muscle on their side, so we the audience don't look totally stupid. But tell me this, is Jean Grey an Omega level mutant with the Phoenix or without it? This is a very important question, because if it is without the damn thing, then why in the hell was she able to defeat Apocalypse, who is an obvious Omega level mutant who had lived for thousands of years and was a god with all the abilities of the X-Men combined in one person? Like, you guys should make it make sense, Marvel. Please make it make sense. We are not dumb. Or does the combination of beta and alpha powers make up for literally screwing with reality? That guy had the same powers as Professor X. Was it not easier to just put a thought in the heads of people, just like the professor would do, and manipulate them? Oh heavens, my head practically hurts because of the common sense. But if you think nerfing a literal 1,000-year-old god was bad, wait till you see this. Marvel has done worse thing, and I am about to blow your mind even more. Why Omega level mutants are absolutely rubbish. Why don't we take a quick dive into the comics and check out these guys? Yes, them. But before that, if you are enjoying this video, please do not forget to leave a like, a comment, and tell me what you think about Omega level mutants. No, I'm just saying. Okay, let's go back. Like I said earlier on, there is absolutely no story that does not involve or revolve around an Omega level mutant in the Marvel world. But this is exactly the problem. I mean, these days, everybody is an Omega level mutant. No, it's true. They are literally like flies now. It is absolutely a miracle the main Marvel universe still exists. After all, a casual sneeze from one of them could blow the earth off its axis. I'm serious, this is an ability Magneto has. He has controlled the magnetic field of the earth before. Having one Omega level mutant is a problem, but we now have an island of them, all wearing the same stupid rank of Omega level, but somehow human beings without powers can still capture them and conduct experiments on them. Oh God. Including the magicians. Oh heavens, I just remembered about these useless fools. Like, don't get me started on the magicians. An example of such uselessness would be the Scarlet Witch. Yes, I've mentioned that before. This woman made an entire town look like another episode of How I Met Your Mother, perfectly taking control of people's minds, observable reality, and even their thought process, but somehow had problems against Doctor Strange, a man having a flying cape, sparkling golden rings, and girlfriend issues. Again, Marvel, make it make sense. But wait, there is more. Somehow, before any Omega level mutant is able to make the mark on their goals, there's always a heart-touching story that makes them change their mind and accept reality that can literally be changed with their own powers. It's like having the power to make flour into a cake, but you rather eat the flour. Like, why, Marvel? Why? And if that's not bad enough, for some reason, they are always able to control their powers, like waving a hand or controlling some extra limb. But when it is needed the most, their powers become somehow too much to control. And then they need assistance from God knows who. Oh yes, I remember, from the beta level mutants. Of course, how convenient. And if by some miracle these Omega level mutants have children, they somehow always inherit the crazy powers of their parents and also crazy stupidity. You know what? Screw it. I am done for now. If I keep talking, my anger is only going to continue increasing. By the way, speaking of powerful children, I made a video about some of Wolverine's badass kids. Many of them will blow your mind, so make sure to check those out. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I think like, comment. Yeah, thank you. Subscribe.